Today on another edition of Turneround's Theory.
If you want to stay in a relationship with him, do not live together, do not get married, do not mix finances. This man is recreational only. I mean, imagine if a guy said that about a woman. The interesting thing is that a lot of people in the comments also immediately assumed that this guy was just taking advantage of her, and he might be.
Another edition of Turneround's Theory is coming up next right here on YouTube. The woman that you are seeing right now is actually admitting that women have double standards when it comes to dating. If you'll stick around for another edition of Turnaround's Theory, which is coming up next on my official YouTube channel in just 1 minute, we're going to go back to Taylor Define's YouTube channel and watch this video in its entirety. Plus, I will conclude today's edition with another free theoretical like I always do. It's Friday, September the 26th, 2025, and fellas, as I often tell you all, that y'all should often be knowing my saying, and y'all should often be knowing the drill. So why don't y'all go grab a quick snack and come on back, because y'all just might learn something. Another edition of Turnaround's Theory starts right now. Roll that intro, and let's jump right into it. I've been a musician for more than 44 years. I've been a video editor almost 20 years. But I'm also into content creating, and I love giving theoretical thoughts on just about anything in general. I'm your boy, Mr. Turnaround, and this is Turnaround's Theory. What is going on, YouTube? Once again, I'm your boy, Mr. Turnaround, aka Tenacious T, aka the Theoretical Maestro. And I want to welcome you to another exciting edition of Turnaround's Theory for Friday, September the 26th, 2025, right here on my official YouTube channel. As you should know by now, that Turnaround's Theory is now coming to you each and every single Monday and Friday over the exciting digital airwaves of YouTube for season number 6. And once again, Turnaround's Theory continues to become the actual platform of where I normally get the fellas just like you at home a free theoretical thought on, just about anything. Hey, listen, for those of y'all that are just tuning in to watching the latest edition of Turnaround's Theory right here on my official YouTube channel, I want to personally welcome you. And if you are in fact a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back. As a constant daily reminder, I must reiterate to you all once again to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel, because it would in fact help out and it will be beneficial for the YouTube algorithm. And please don't forget to smash on that post notification bell so that you, my friends, will instantly be in the loop every single time I post up and upload more additional content onto this channel. Please be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. There will be a link provided in the description box below. If you also want to contribute to my YouTube channel through PayPal, which ought to be a great help, and there's also going to be a link provided in the description box below for that as well. As a reminder, I'm almost getting closer to reaching 3,000 subscribers onto my official YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to my official YouTube channel, it's not too late. Please help me get to the road to 3,000 subscribers before 2025 is out, because your sub is greatly appreciated and it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to also use the hashtag TeamTurnaround that you will see at the bottom of your screen, because that lets me know indefinitely that not only you're watching the latest edition of Turnaround's Theory, but it just goes to show that you are supporting my platform with regard to the content that I post up, and I might just send you a shout out right back. Now, I do hope and pray that I have covered everything within this particular matter, and with that being said, let's just jump on over into today's edition of Turnaround's Theory.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today that has been sent to me of a woman admitting, okay, that women have double standards when it comes to dating. Yes, I know water is wet. This is something we know, but it's interesting to see a woman's perspective on this. So let's jump into it.
So, I have to admit something. I have double standards in dating and relationships.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
I expect different things from a guy in a relationship than from myself. And I am actually of the opinion that everyone has double standards.
What the is this?
Even the ones that don't want to admit it. Actually, now that I think about it, especially the ones who don't want to admit it.
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
And I recently saw this video that exactly proves my point, that double standards are just part of human nature.
Don't leave me! I'm about to leave!
My question is, my boyfriend doesn't want to work, and is that a deal breaker?
But now I'll summarize it for you so it doesn't get boring. It's about this 40-year-old female surgeon who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, is an aspiring actor and only makes $23K a year. And he can't, but also doesn't want to help her pay the mortgage because the house will be on her name. They've been together for 1 year at this point. This woman asked these people who give financial advice whether this should be a deal breaker for their relationship.
Are you sure about that?
So a couple of things here. Number one, the relationship is already over. Okay, if a woman out-earns a man for a significant period of time, she will most likely be leaving that man's ass. Okay, women do not like to feel like they are the breadwinner, let alone actually be the breadwinner in a household. So let's just get that out of the way. Okay, first of all, that relationship is completely doomed. Second of all, I never really buy these women's reasoning for ending their relationship. They're always like, yeah, my significant other, he's just not putting in the effort. He doesn't want to work. But usually when you talk to the guy, there's actually more behind the scenes that's going on. And she has given a reason that might not actually reflect the truth. The truth of the matter, guys, is women are going to find a reason to leave you if, on a long-term basis, that is, if you are not the provider to at least a large degree.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.
What do you think, Jenny? Is that attractive to you? Like, are you like, what a winner?
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
Quite harsh, if you ask me, especially since she didn't give a lot of context about their situation. Maybe the guy contributed in a different way to the relationship. And now imagine if the situation was the other way around. So the woman is an aspiring actress and the man is a surgeon who makes 6 figures a year.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If the guy was a surgeon who made 6 figures a year, he would never make that phone call to the show in the first place. I've said this so many times, guys, but men do not give a damn how much money a woman earns. It doesn't affect our ability to be attracted to a woman. We don't go, oh, wow, she makes 6 figures. She must be really something. Men don't care in that respect. We really do not. The phone call wouldn't have been made in the first place.
I don't think this woman would have reacted in the same way.
Are you like, what a winner?
But let's take a look at the comment section of this video. Subscribe to Lynn Everly.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
I'd say this is great advice if you want to see more content like this. So click that button and subscribe.
We do not care.
Okay, now let's see the real comments. The resentment she feels now will only grow with each passing month as she continues to ask herself, what does he bring to the table? The breaking point will be if/when she stops respecting him. Yeah, what does he bring to the table? We don't know, because no one even asked that question. If you want to stay in a relationship with him, do not live together, do not get married, do not mix finances. This man is recreational only.
What the f is this piece of shit?
I mean, imagine if a guy said that about a woman. The interesting thing is that a lot of people in the comments also immediately assumed that this guy was just taking advantage of her. And he might be. We don't know that. But it wasn't that clear to me just from this clip.
Shut up, fool!
And just by the way, anyone, you shouldn't be, in my opinion, just believing what these women say when they say it, because usually they're just lying. Usually they're making up something about this situation. And, sometimes it's good to try and take what they say at face value. But when you do, it just doesn't really make sense anyway, typically. Oh, he just doesn't want to work. Yeah, sure, there are men out there who don't want to work. But I just really don't buy the situation. I smell some BS going on here. Again, guys, right? If the man is not the provider in a long-term relationship, or if he's not providing over a long-term horizon, the woman will find a reason to leave his ass.
A few minutes later.
He's probably a pretty boy, and she likes him for his looks. He sees her as a sugar mama, perfectly reciprocal.
What the shit is this?
I mean, this could be the case. And if they are both happy in that relationship construct, it could actually be reciprocal. But the thing is that that women usually don't value looks as much as guys do. I think in general, whether you are a pretty boy or a pretty girl, if it is just looks that you bring to the table, I mean, yes, it is something.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
But looks usually don't last forever, and it gets boring over time.
Yeah, so women, when they enter into long-term relationships, particularly marriages and so on, when they're looking at these more long-term horizon things, they're looking at, does the man have the ability to provide? Okay, that's why they'll go out here, they'll have all of their hookups, they'll have all of their fun with like random dudes at clubs, and none of these men have to make six figures. Okay, but when she's looking to marry and settle down, what she's going to do is now she's going to look for some dude who has made it in life, who might not necessarily be attractive, and she's going to get with that man because of his ability to provide.
What do you mean by that?
These women are not stupid, guys. You know, they don't want to be working right up until retirement age. You know, a lot of these people, let's be honest, these women have incredible amounts of debt. They're irresponsible with money. They have no interest in their careers, if they even have one at all, typically, you know? And so what they do is they screw around until they're 31, 32, whatever. And then they start to look for the provider guy, and they trade off the looks. That's why they feel like they're settling, by the way. Oh, I'm settling for this guy. He's not as tall as I want. He doesn't, you know, he's not this, he's not that. And that's when women start to get hit with reality. Okay, reality hits them in the backside when they're looking for a man to provide for them long term. Then they find out where they really sit. And usually it's not a good place.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it definitely helps to develop a good personality. I really wouldn't recommend just relying on looks if you want a long-term healthy relationship. Thanks Dave for saying his work ethic is the problem and not his income. Dave is this guy, by the way. He also had something to say about it. And yes, I think that's true. I think to a good woman, a man's work ethic and his willingness to contribute is more important than the money itself.
Huh?
It's not necessarily always about the money. It's more about the ambition and the willingness to contribute to society and to your family.
When they go low, I go lower.
You know, I hear this, okay, and this sounds well and good on paper, but try telling that to a woman who you've been with for a long period of time and you're not making the money. She's not gonna care how ambitious you are and how much of a good work ethic you have if you're broke. Okay, they might deal with it for a little bit, especially if you're on the younger side. But you know, a lot of these women who are pushing up in age, they don't, in their own words, guys, they don't have the time for men who haven't made it yet. You know, oh, that's great, you're ambitious, okay, but you don't have the money yet. A lot of the women who are pushing older ages, who are trying to rush out having kids and quote unquote settling down, you know, they're not going to look so favorably upon your ambition anymore. Maybe when she was 25 and she had time, she would go, oh yeah, I could sink a few years with this guy. Hopefully his ambition pays off. But let's be real, guys, a lot of these women, they're waiting at the finish lines for the winners. Okay, there's something to be said. There's something, you know, to be said for being an ambitious guy with work ethic and so on. But there's a cutoff point where the women simply don't care, and they're just looking for a guy who's made it.
Oh, hell no!
Money is also important to a degree. It depends on the woman. Some women find money really important for several reasons. Imagine the reverse situation. A girl is an actress and a boy is a surgeon making more money. Most men will not go and ask someone about what to do. They will be happy to marry the girl and will not hesitate to add her name on the house, even if she doesn't pay the mortgage.
Oh, hell no!
Guys, please, you know, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying here, but don't be adding your woman on any documentation as it pertains to a house that you are paying a mortgage on. Don't give her access to your bank accounts. Don't mix finances. Oh, hell no, man. Absolutely not. Because what happens is the court weaponizes this stuff later on to take money from the man, justified or unjustified.
You must be out your mind!
There are a lot of guys who lose houses, who lose a lot of things, right? Who the woman did not contribute equally to. You know, like this whole idea of, yeah, let's just put the woman's name on the house. Nope. Let's open a joint bank account. Nope. Not happening. Sorry.
Let's be honest, this is probably very true. I think there are a lot more men who are willing to provide for their girlfriend than the other way around. If she respects him, supports him, takes care of him, takes care of his children, I think most men would actually be very happy with that.
I'm so sick of hearing this crap, by the way. You know, this is just me nitpicking, but it's actually their children. You know, I'm so sick of hearing this argument from women like, oh, I look after his children. You understand they're your children too, right? You know, like this is such a strange line of language that people love to use. That you're not just, this is not a paid job, okay, where you're looking after his children. You're not a nanny. You're not a sitter, okay? You are the mother of the kids. You're not looking after his children. You're doing what's called being a mother. You know what? Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I'm nitpicking. But whenever I hear this language, something is off about it to me.
But the thing is, then he does have to be able to pay for everything on his own, on a single wage. And unfortunately, that is very hard to do in our current society. Waiting tables when your partner makes $500,000 is a ridiculous waste of time. I mean, I totally agree with this. It is a ridiculous waste of time. This woman suggested that he could wait tables and work very hard in that way to contribute, but I totally agree with this person. That would be such a waste of time. I think if she wants to stay with him and also wants him to eventually contribute to the mortgage, I think it would be better if she just paid the bills for a while, and if he's willing to do it, let him work very hard to make his acting career work. I think that would be the most sensible scenario if you really want to make it work with this person and you actually want him to financially contribute.
You know what would be the most reasonable thing to do? Right? Let's just talk purely from a logistical stance. The woman makes incredible amounts of money. She has the ability to do so, right? The logical thing to do would be, okay, he can be the stay-at-home father. You know, he does the traditionally feminine role. Now, the problem with this, guys, is women don't tolerate this oftentimes. You know, as much as women say they support stay-at-home fathers, they support guys who stay at home and look after their house, very little women actually want to be in the situation where they're the breadwinner and the man is looking after the house. You know, from a purely logistical point of view, that would probably be the optimal thing to do. But again, this is not something that women tolerate. Okay, like let's just make this very, very clear. Women do not like doing this, especially over long periods of time. That is why they'll call up their friends, they'll, you know, call into these talk shows and all of these sorts of things, is because they don't want to have the masculine role. You know, or at the very least, they don't want to feel like they do. They're happy earning obscene amounts of money, but of course the man has to earn more and be the quote-unquote provider.
It sounds like she wants that. Rachel's reaction was the best. This woman is settling, and she clearly doesn't have to. I mean, how does she know this? We don't know anything about this woman, except that she's a surgeon who makes 6 figures a year. We don't know what she looks like, we don't know her morals, we don't know her personality. How can we know if she's really settling? If you're saying this, then you're purely basing your reaction on the amount of money that she makes, which is usually not even that important to men in a relationship, unless maybe when you're a broke aspiring actor, maybe then it's a great deal.
I mean, even then, let's be real, men don't care. I've said this on the channel so many times, guys, you know, like men do not care about a woman's finances. Like they simply don't. It's like, it's most especially from a romantic point of view. No man has ever said, oh wow, you know, she's got a fantastic retirement going on here. She looks like she could really provide a house for me. Like, again, from a logical perspective, maybe the dude needs a place to live. But again, men don't really care. Like, they don't push for this. They don't typically try and weasel their way into women's lives just to be financially supported. That is something that women will absolutely do, by the way. But men typically, no.
This woman will end up paying spousal support after a divorce. She's being shown the true man. She needs to run. This
Imagine if this woman has to pay spousal support, by the way. I laugh at that. because this is something that men get screwed over with all the time.
Person is named Lana, so she is probably a woman. It's funny, right? Because it's usually women defending women and men defending men in the comments when it comes to situations like this. There are also so many comments from guys who try to warn men not to marry girls anymore. People just don't want to get into relationships anymore, it seems like. But I think those kinds of comments usually only make it worse. I'm a surgeon.
Wait. So if I tell men not to marry because it's going to screw them over financially, it's, you know, it has a high probability of ruining their lives, okay? The women oftentimes leave the men and try and take their resources, break up the family, and so on. If I say to men, hey, this is a risky maneuver, probably not wise to do it, then I'm making the problem worse. I mean, sue me, okay? Like, again, this is about self-preservation for men. Oh, you can't do that. You're making the situation worse. At a certain point, men actually have to look out for themselves. This is where I fundamentally disagree with a lot of these people, is like, you know, they'll say, oh, just get married. It's for the greater good of society. And yet this same society is the one that will screw over men. It is the same one that will rob men. It is the same one that will facilitate the breaking apart of their family when, you know, women statistically will end up leaving them. Now, not every marriage is going to go awfully, obviously. Not every marriage is going to end, you know, but the statistics, they're looking pretty grim, in my opinion. And I'm not a gambling man, okay? But if I was, I certainly wouldn't bet on a marriage being successful just because you feel like she's the one. You see what I'm saying?
And my girlfriend doesn't work. She can't help with the mortgage. No one would have a problem with that. What a double standard. I mean, in our current feminist society, some people might have a problem with it. But I agree. Probably not as many people. Double standards are real. If a guy doesn't work, they immediately being to dog on him. But if it were a girl, they probably dig a little deeper and ask more serious questions. I can't say anything about this. It is spot on. Man broke, leave him. Woman broke, work harder for her. Society for you. I mean, there is definitely some truth to this maybe, but also not. You know how many players are debt broke and still get a lot of girls? It's not just about money. It's also about looks, personality, social status, and actually being able to talk to girls. I would say that is even more important than just money. There are a lot of rich guys who can't talk to a girl and they end up alone anyway. I was married to a writer for 41 years. He wrote 9 novels, 2 self-published. Some folks considered me a chump for being the primary wage earner, but would not have raised an eyebrow if the roles had been reversed. He was kind, funny, and brave. Now, I actually think this is a very sensible comment. She's basically saying, yes, he's not the primary wage earner, but he has all these other traits that I find attractive, and that's why I'm with him. Which I think is actually very mature and sensible.
Wait, let's go back to this comment. I was married to a writer for 41 years. You know, hopefully I'm assuming by the way that's written that the dude passed away, which would be incredibly sad. I hope she just didn't leave his ass after 41 years. He sent me to university, and once completed, it was his turn to apply himself to his dream. He wrote 9 novels, 2 self-published. Some folks consider me a chump for being the primary wage earner, but would not have raised an eyebrow if the roles were reversed. He was kind, funny, and brave. Okay, so he paid for everything. He sorted her life out, it seems. He was the provider for a long period of time. And then at some point it switched over and she became the provider. Again, guys, I don't know if I buy this crap. I don't know if I buy it. I don't think the dude would have just randomly quit his ability to provide to let the woman provide so that he could go and chase his dreams. This doesn't sound like something that would typically happen to me. Like, again, I don't believe these situations, because women will jump on here and they'll comment and they'll be like, wow, look at me, I'm different. But then you dig into their situation and you find out that that's not the case at all. You know, so the dude randomly quit what he was doing, I assume, to go and chase his dreams and allow you to be the breadwinner now with your university degree. And you were totally fine with that for an extended period of time up until, assumedly, he passed away. If this is true, I mean, cool, fantastic, great stuff. But I'm always very, very skeptical of situations like this because women oftentimes leave out the truth of the matter. They leave out that perhaps they're still being provided for, that the man is still working, or that his retirement savings were able to facilitate this. Like, they leave out very, very important details, and she's pretending like she's the breadwinner now. And I don't buy it. If she is, then great, but I simply don't buy those things.
Is that most people are actually completely blind to their own double standards. Which is why I think that double standards, especially in dating and relationships, will always exist. People nowadays try their very best to eliminate double standards, but mostly when it's to their own advantage. Most people won't admit that because most people aren't that self-aware and they don't question their own beliefs as much. They often just repeat what people around them are saying. Having double standards in relationships is very human because they are rooted in deeper biological and psychological differences between men and women. It's not just social conditioning, although of course that's also part of it. Which is why I think it's better to be aware of the fact that you have double standards and to just be honest about it, because then you can at least make conscious decisions about which ones actually serve you and your relationships instead of being unconsciously controlled by them. It's better than pretending double standards don't exist and getting frustrated when reality doesn't match the fantasy.
You know, oftentimes I hear women accuse men. You know, they say we have double standards because, for example, we want a woman who hasn't had a whole bunch of bedroom partners, for example, but men is fine, apparently. I mean, you know, whenever I hear stuff like this, it's like, I think to myself, okay, but women probably should hold themselves to that same standard. Like, men have this standard, but women don't have it back. You know, again, for example, a man wants a woman who hasn't been with a lot of dudes. Woman will get mad because she'll say, oh, it's fine for a man to have a lot of bedroom partners. But the thing is, the same women making claims like that never actually care how many women a dude has been with. You know, they don't reject men on this basis. They don't apply the same sort of logic as men, even when maybe they should. You know, if you're looking for a guy to have a long-term relationship with, probably not the smartest idea to go with some ex-Chad who's been with 500 women. But, you know, women, you know, they'll complain about the double standards, but then it's not a double standard when they have the ability to change it. And logically, they should, by the way. A lot of guys don't agree with hookup culture, even for men. You know, there are certainly a large group of men who sit there and say, well, I don't think it's good for men either. And me personally, I don't think it's good for men either. I think it's it's quite a dangerous thing, honestly.
When we continue with Turnaround's theory, I'm going to conclude today's edition with another free theoretical thought to wrap up for this week right after these messages.
When a black woman sees another black woman dating outside of our race, whether it's a white man or a non-black man in general, she tends to get celebrated. She gets applauded by other women. Girl, period. I know that's right. When a black woman is spotted dating outside of the race, it's automatically viewed as something positive, and black women automatically assume she's getting treated right, and it's the jackpot for black women to date non-black men, automatically. But when a black man is spotted dating outside of his race, and Lord forbid if he's caught with a white woman or a non-black woman, it's World War III. He's being disrespected, dogged out from every angle. Why is that? Then black women go on to say, it's not that we have a problem with them dating white women or non-black women. We have a problem with the disrespect, the down talking and backlash that comes from black men when they start dating other women. Well, ma'am, usually that's why a black man is going to the other side or dating outside of his race, due to the same reason, due to the backlash, due to the disrespect, due to the projecting. Y'all put all black men in one category. One do y'all in, y'all swear every single last one of them ain't nothing. It's like we clearly feel a way about each other, but only y'all are allowed to go on and find love and feel like because white men respect us and they treat us better and they want families and y'all got a list of reasons as to why it's okay for y'all to date outside the race. But if y'all see a black man with a white woman, y'all get in y'all feelings. But why? Y'all disrespect these same men, but y'all don't want nobody else to have them. Then you got the people that say, well, they're both wrong. If you're a black man or a black woman and you're stepping outside of the race, you're just wrong. Nobody's wrong. It's 2025. You got men dating men, women dating women, black dating white, white dating black. It does not matter. People are going where they feel loved, respected, and appreciated. Love doesn't have a color. It doesn't matter what you think. People are not living to be validated by other people. Live your life. And if it means that it's coming in the color of turquoise, that's the person that's loving you, respecting you, and doing right by you, then turquoise it is.
And now, Turneround's theoretical thoughts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is, and this is most definitely my favorite part of the segment. Once again, it is time for another edition of Turnaround's theoretical thought with yours truly, because in just a minute, I'm going to conclude today's edition with another theoretical thought, this time coming from Taylor Devine's YouTube channel, about a woman who says that she acknowledges and admits that women have double standards when it comes to dating. Here is your theoretical thought for today. I have nothing else left to say after this broadcast on today, because the theoretical thought that I'm giving right now is no different. These women will get on social media and come up with their double standards that is just out of this world. And best believe when I tell you this, fellas, these women will do any and everything for clout just to get all of the likes and the views on social media, because when it comes to that, it's empowerment to other women as well as themselves. But when we do it, oh, it's a problem. Men, stay the hell away from these type of women that feels like they're entitled to be empowered when it comes to having double standards. They are not wifey material. It's an evil world that we live in, and we must brace it. With that being said, that is your theoretical thought for today, and this will also conclude another edition of Turnaround's Theory for Friday and for this week. Hey, listen, once again, I truly want to thank you for watching another edition of Turnaround's Theory right here on my official YouTube channel. This platform is actually designed to empower men to make better choices and life-changing decisions when it comes to the dating world. Hey, listen, let me know what you think in the comment section below concerning today's video. And as a constant daily reminder, I must remind you one more time to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel, because it would in fact help out and it would be beneficial for the YouTube algorithm. And please don't forget to smash on that post notification bell so that you, my friends, will instantly be in the loop every single time I post up and upload more additional content onto this channel. For Turnaround's Theory, I'm your boy, Mr. Turnaround, aka Tenacious T, aka the Theoretical Maestro. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you right back here Monday for another edition of Turnaround's Theory. And until then, Team Turnaround out. Have a safe weekend.